All righty, here we are. Hey, Kelly, how are you
Hello.
today?
I'm good, Amy. How are you?
I am fine. I'm great. And thank you so much for joining me again. I loved having you before.
Yeah.
Our topic today is one I know a lot of parents are asking me about because I feel like it's risen a little bit in one of these things that you should do for college admissions. And so the topic today is demonstrated interest. And
Yes.
Um, I think if kids and parents can have a clear idea of what this means
Yeah.
coming from you, they'll just feel a lot better equipped. So before we get into it, will you just explain to everyone, first of all, what you do, and
Yeah.
then second of all, in your perspective, what is demonstrated interest?
Yes, definitely. It's a little shady sometimes to figure out what that means exactly. But I am Kelly Barnhart. I am the owner of College Admissions Strategies. So I help teenagers kind of navigate that pathway to college and college admissions. And actually, I probably help the parents just as much too. But yes, so demonstrated interest is something that we do talk about, and we talk about it early on because it does need to happen before their applications come in.
Mhm.
So demonstrated interest basically in its simplest form is, I like to say, you're more or less trying to date the school before you marry it. So,
Yes, that's great.
you're showing that college some love. So whether, there's various ways you can do it, but more or less before they get your application, you have shown an interest in that school. So they maybe have a good idea of, is this student truly interested or
Right.
not in
That
us?
makes sense. That makes sense. And what are some of the forms of showing you're interested in the school or showing demonstrated interest?
Well, with demonstrated interest, there's various ways, right? So, like we all like to, get on social media. Some kids don't. So, that could be a way, right? They can,
Okay.
log into their, Facebook or Instagram or, whatever they do, Snapchat, TikToks, all
Yes.
that kind of stuff. But basically, my thing is make sure your social media is clean yourself before the students, before you're logging in and liking and sharing or commenting or doing anything like that. But
Right.
that's one way. Another way is doing an actual tour of the campus. So
Okay.
an official tour. So you're going to want to register yourself. Make sure it's you, the student, not mom or dad who are
Yes.
registering themselves, but make sure it's the student that's registering for an official tour. And then that way they're capturing your data, right? They've got you, they've got your name, they've got your email address, maybe where you live, your high school, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's important because that's how they're kind of tracking that
Right.
demonstrated
Right.
interest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
Okay.
then, yeah. So, and then the last one is sign up for emails or their newsletters. So go on to their websites, sign up as a prospective student. And not only are you getting their emails, but please open them because not that all schools are tracking the open rate. And if you
Yep.
specifically opened it up, but there's a lot of things that you can learn through those emails and
Yeah.
newsletters.
Yeah.
So
That's
beneficial to
awesome.
you, the student.
That's great. That's great. And you know, I know that it's first of all, it's really helpful to hear you say that students should show demonstrated interest before the colleges get their application. And then when they get their application, if they look up certain students, they can see that
Right.
they're interested, whether it's through, because I feel like, have you heard this before? Parents will say, especially if kids are applying, from the East Coast to the West Coast, from
Mhm.
the North to the South, like, how can we visit all of these schools? Shouldn't we
Yes.
wait until my student gets in? But not really when you're looking at it through the lens of demonstrated interest, right?
Right. And here's the thing that, each college is different with what they require out
Right.
of demonstrated interest.
Okay.
So one school may say, no, it's not a big deal to us. Demonstrated interest isn't something we track. And
Right.
then the other school over here might say, yeah, you know what, it is. It's really important to us. And then there could be another school and saying, yeah, we consider it, but
Right.
it's not majorly important. So, right, how do we figure
Yeah.
that out? And
And
so
how do you? I mean, that's it right there. I think that's excellent. How do
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Well, I can hear parents saying like, "Okay, this makes sense,"
Mhm.
but is it all for naught? I mean, what if my son really has no idea about this college, but
Mm,
has heard about it? Do we go there? Do we do all these things?
yeah,
How do we know
yeah.
that the college is on our list? And I know you have an answer for this.
I do. But yeah, so my kids, my clients, we have a special software platform that we use that
Awesome.
will tell them directly, hey,
Ah,
very important, not considered at all, or somewhere in the middle, right? So that
yes.
way they know
Yes.
this data right here. It's in with all of their college lists and everything
Yeah.
else. But if you don't have that, how else can you figure this out? What you can do is it's very simple. Google search, put
Oh,
in common data set, and then the college's name. So not only can you find out loads of information about what this school is about through the common data set, you can find an area on there that specifically says demonstrated interest in what the importance is to that school, if any.
okay, that's so interesting.
Mhm.
Wow, hello. So
Yeah.
parents, if you're watching this, a lot of people are going to watch this on the replay. I think what I'll do, Kelly, because this is not, I
Mhm.
thought this was going to stream to Instagram and it's not. I'm going to download our video and post it, but this
Perfect.
is a golden moment. I
Yeah.
mean, how many parents out there know that you can Google common, what is it?
Common
Common data
data
set.
set. Yep. CDS for short.
CDS
Abbreviation.
plus the college name, and it comes up with all these. Oh, that's fabulous. And
Mhm. Mhm.
here's a question I have for you. And if there isn't data on this yet, then we don't have to go down this road. But for example, I know there's been a lot of
Mhm.
fluctuation and change with the weight of standardized test scores and college admissions,
Mhm.
with the essays and college admissions. And now, perhaps with demonstrated interest, especially in the past few years, and have you seen and what is the change with this idea of demonstrated interest? Are the colleges saying like this is a lot more important, or
Yeah.
again, does it depend? I mean,
It does. It does. Because exactly what you had sort of said in the beginning, right? It's not easy for students if you're on the East Coast to get to the West Coast to go see them. So people do get nervous, like, how can I, show the appropriate amount of demonstrated interest? So
right,
some schools see that, they know that struggle, that challenge. So that's why they won't, say, hey, this is a high priority for us.
right,
But then
right,
other schools, they do because maybe they are getting so many applications and they're
yeah,
really trying to figure out as much as you want, the student wants a yes from them, they want a yes from you. So
hmm,
this is how they're kind of judging it in a way,
correct,
right? Like I was saying before,
yeah,
you're kind of
yeah,
dating them before you marry them.
yes, yes,
You're showing that love for the
yes.
school beforehand.
Oh, that's
So
fabulous. Okay.
mhm,
Okay, that's great. And then finally, I was thinking about, how something like really showing up on campus for a tour or even
mhm,
taking the time for, a junior in high school to sit down and carve out like their focus to watch a virtual tour, like various ways of showing
mhm.
demonstrated interest, going to the, see the college rep, having
Yep,
to get a teacher sign you out.
yep.
Um, how does genuinely showing demonstrated interest, in your opinion, also really help the kids and the parents get a sense of, is this college a good fit for me? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that is where I say it's a two-way street. Demonstrated interest really is. It's not so much for that college. It is for you too, because
right.
by default, if nothing else, it's almost like a research project for yourself. So you're getting these emails,
Oh, I
you're
love
reading the
that.
newsletters, you're figuring out what
Oh,
they like,
yes.
what they're all about, what they're valuing, so that by the time you're having to fill out that application, you get to the essay that says, hey, why us, right? Why are you interested in us? You've got all this back knowledge from
Yeah.
whether you talked to an admissions rep at a college fair, or you did the virtual tour, or you've been reading their newsletters
Yeah.
monthly, or
Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
is. You've got a lot of back knowledge that
Right.
isn't just about going to the front page of their website in spouting off information that anybody can do, right? So
Yes.
you've had
Yes.
some behind the scenes information by doing this. And that's what
Absolutely.
I personally love.
Right.
And I've got a junior in high school right now
Yeah.
myself.
Oh,
He's
yes.
this is what I'm encouraging him to do.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
it's how
Right.
they really truly get to know, is this a good school for me
Yes.
outside of,
Right.
visiting it and everything else.
Well, exactly. And thank you for that answer. I think that really getting yourself on the college campus then really informs, do I fit here? And furthermore, whether it's a short answer or a longer essay, I would imagine that a college admissions reader hearing about students say, I spent the whole afternoon, and although it was raining and it was colder than usual, I completely see myself here based on
Yep.
specific details, as opposed to a student with those same credentials
Hmm.
who's never been there,
Hmm.
and they're just trying to get that, yes, you're admitted, as opposed to I have a genuine connection. So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of synergy here with demonstrated interest in writing the essays also, because it gives kids a sense of control. And how fabulous for a student to say, like, gosh, I really don't like it here. I'm not even going to write these essays. I'm not even going to apply, right? To have a sense of agency and through demonstrated interest, and even through writing the essays. So I like this topic because it seems like there's so much that
Hmm.
kids don't have control over, right?
I
They
know.
they
Yeah,
study for
there
that
is.
SAT,
You
and
do feel very vulnerable.
they feel
Hmm.
vulnerable, and they take it again. They don't know how they're going to get better, right? And they're thinking of their GPA. Well, guess what? When they're applying, 3 years of high school are done.
Yeah.
But with getting yourself there and seeing the campus and seeing other kids, like that's really gives them a sense of, like, do I fit here? And
Yeah.
yes, I do, or you know
Yeah.
what, maybe I don't, and
Yeah.
that's okay. So
Yep.
so fabulous. I think this is one of those hidden gems, Kelly. I think
It
that
is.
yeah,
It really is. Yeah. And it's really, like I said, demonstrated interest is something that in the last 5 years has been talked a lot. You had kind
yeah,
of said that before with, what is this kind of, new wave of, if it's not test optional, what is it? That kind of thing. So
yeah,
yeah, it demonstrated
awesome.
interest is absolutely a newer thing, but definitely not something to ignore. It can help
Yes.
both the student and the
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much. This is real. This is valuable, and I'm going to post this in a couple of my other
Great.
channels. And as we wrap it up here, if parents are thinking, "Gosh, I just think Kelly could really help my son or daughter," where is the easiest, best way that they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. You are always welcome to call me, and my phone number is 704-516-9907. Or you can go to my website, collegeadmissionsstrategies.com, and you can register for a 30-minute free college consultation with me. So that will absolutely give you all the links to get that scheduled, and we will
Awesome.
do a Zoom session similar to this.
Fabulous. Did you say your phone number? I'm going to put it. Is it okay if I put it in the comments?
Yeah,
This
absolutely. Yeah,
704-516-9907.
that's it.
Okay. I feel like I should say that 3 times, and we've got ourselves a little commercial, right?
Perfect.
That's fabulous. And parents watching this on the replay, please feel free to post a comment for us. Please reach out to Kelly, and I know that she'll answer all of your questions and then some. So
Yeah.
thank you, Kelly, so much for joining me. And is there any last nugget you'd like to add? If not, I know we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. Well, I know that we're both located here in the Charlotte area. Just a heads up that there is a college fair coming up in at the end of March.
Yep.
And maybe what we can do is put the link to register for that, but it's at the Charlotte Convention Center downtown. That
Oh,
would be a
awesome.
wonderful way to see a bunch of colleges all at once
Oh,
and
that's great.
really
So is
get.
that mostly like college reps coming?
Yes, yep, from the different colleges, and they'll give you a list of who will be there before they've probably already got the list secured by now. So,
Oh, that's
so you
great.
can look on that and register. But I would think, if you're here in the area, great. If you're not, through this same organization, we call it NACAC, you can
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
get college fairs throughout the country that way
And
too.
and what
So,
is that again? That NACAC, it stands for National.
oh, you would have to ask me.
What are the
I
letters?
say NACAC so many times that I
I
don't
know
even
you do,
know.
and I don't.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So we can put that in the
We'll post, we'll go back and post it. Okay.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
awesome.
absolutely.
Well, thank you so much
You're
again,
welcome.
Kelly.
Yep.
You're awesome. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
And
Amy. Yep.
we'll do this again. And parents, please reach out to Kelly. She's absolutely wonderful. So we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
Amy. Bye.